3 changes that England have made. What's the likelihood of them turning on the screws on South Africa?
Yeah, from what I've seen from this England side, Rob, not exciting at all. Very boring, very bullish, and I think that's how that's how the England side can win a Rugby World Cup. They're gonna play sort of a certain style like we normally play. They picked a big pack, guys like Tom Curry, Itoje, Courtney Laws, to name a few, and they brought back Freddie Stewart, the big, tall, lanky fullback. So that tells me as well they're gonna have a kicking game. Last week against Fiji, they tried their luck with a running game. The likes of Marcus Smith coming in, Owen Farrell, swinging the ball a little bit, but clearly didn't work for them. They literally scrape over the line by the help of Monsieur Mathieu Renal. Oh. let's not talk about that now. That's a debate for a different day.
Again.
But Rob, I feel that this team will come with a little bit more anger.
Yeah.
Because in 2019, they were the favourites. They got suffocated and strangled by us, and they got played of the park by us. So they will come with that kind of mindset in terms of trying to upset us, trying to get under our skin, kicking the whole day. Literally, I can't see them playing an expensive game. They have big runners in midfield, guys like Tuolangi, Elliot Daly on the wing. He's got a big left boot as well. So they're going to come with a scrappy game, and that's the only way they can beat us. And unfortunately for tomorrow night, because we know we got a bit of variation to our play now with the likes of Mani Lebo, Kobus Reinach. Those guys want to play with the ball, but the weather forecast looks like it's going to be rainy, and that kind of suit them a little bit more like it does. We can play a tight game and we masters at it, but I just feel that when it rains, the level playing field it's almost like level.
Yeah, so kind of a scrappy game. You won't have the kind of pace. I mean, we had an explosive game last week against the host nation, France. I don't think anybody anticipated, just the wave of tries that were scored, the ferocity in which the game was played. I mean, I was just blown away. You mentioned Mario Itoje, and I looked during the week, some crazy numbers, that he has. He's played the full 80 minutes in all 4 appearances in the Rugby World Cup 2023. He's missed, and this was the amazing thing, missed just 10 minutes of game time across his total career tests against the Boks for England, including the British and Irish Lions. And I was like, how much does this man have in his tank?
Rob, obviously professionals, these days the guys got tracked by trackers in terms of their workload, their heart rates, fatigue as well. And Mario Itoje is one of those guys, he's the kind of guy that you would like to have in your team. Oh. He's a warrior. He's a warrior, as you just mentioned, the amount of minutes he have played and still continuing to be consistent, dishing out pain to other people. It's a good thing. So that's one guy, and he somehow gets fired up against the Boks.
Yes.
Thankfully, he's been on the losing side a lot against the Boks. But you know what? At some point, you feel that at some point, he will get that big win against the Boks.
Well, I think he goes back to Ellis Park. I think Ellis Park was this good omen for him because that's where he got his first test try back in 2018. So he looks at South Africa and says, that's where my opportunity does lie. South Africa, on the flip side, the coaching staff, the coaching personnel saying, you know what, guys, we happy. We're not going to be changing things. It's an unchanged match day team against England. Wise idea?
Wise idea, Rob. Wise idea. When you get to knockout stages, there's no time for surprises. There's no time for mind games, and you want continuity. This team does have continuity, and we kind of caught form at the right time. In other words, we're peaking at the right time. For me, really unlucky, like the likes of Andre Estes and Kanan Moody doesn't even make the team, Rob. They would walk into any other team in the world. So it shows you where this team is at. The confidence, the belief. Yeah. Last week, they missed 43 tackles against France. And France didn't win. France, sort of on the stats side, they won everything. But the Boks won the game. And that is what this team can do. They can grind out a game. Their scramble defense is something that no other team has in the world. And that's why we won that game.
But also individual brilliance. Yeah. We were just saying off air, Cheslin's charge down still makes headlines. And I look at it, there's the picture, I think the rear picture of it where you see the number 11, his arms are up, almost indicating another 11, and the ball squashed in between. Yeah. So which almost indicates where the ball was heading to, but there was no way through. That is split-second timing, and he got it right. And here we are today talking about a semi-final berth.
Robbie, at that level again, the margins are so small.
Yeah.
if he put over that kick, they probably be in the semi-final tomorrow. And obviously, hence the heartbreak and people making threats, So that's the kind of level that these boys are playing at. And this team who's been together for the last 4 or 5 years, who obviously Rassie and Jacques is transformed in world beaters. They know how to win. So for me, if anything, they always play for the greater cause. And there's no doubt that these guys again will go out tomorrow and playing for the greater cause, and that is what does make this team so special. They intelligent in the things they approach, and they're intelligent in the way they align themselves. A respectful team with good values, and that is part that the Springbok culture has created the last couple of years, and that is a fantastic
All right,
thing.
my time with you is running out very quickly, which is very sad for me because I love chatting rugby with you all the time. The one quote that I remember that you made, and is very topical because he trends almost whatever he does, good or bad. Manie Libbok, for me, a fantastic player. Outstanding. He does things that a lot of players in the world cannot do. And even opposition people say that about him. And you likened his mentality, the big approach, to a guy like Tiger Woods. Explain that.
Yeah, Rob, many players get into a setup and many players obviously try and get their own identities in terms of how they approach games and what they do in games. Manie Libbok, his mentality is of such, and I spoke to him before, and his coach John Dobson, because I couldn't understand why this guy he will miss 2 kicks, and the next thing he does something brilliant that leads to a try. So Manie Libbok's psychology, or his psyche as a player and a human being, he's got the ability to block out a negative thing right there and then.
Wow. And
just move on to the nenext thing. And I couldn't understand it until I spoke to these people, because many a player, Rob, if you've seen, even in football, watching guys miss the penalty kick, for instance, the guy's gone. Yeah. You can take him off right away. Manie Libbok is different. So that is a sort of comparison I can make, and the perspective I can give you in simple terms. And that to me, and that's why Rassie Erasmus is still playing Manie Libbok today.
That is crazy.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, that
unbelievable,
is crazy.
Yeah.
the margins are going to be tight. We're looking at 19-point difference. I don't know. I don't think there's been anything more than that in the history.
No, Rob. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be much tighter than that. I would say Boks by between 7 and 9.
Between 7 and 9.
Yeah.
Hero of the day? Who do you think? Who do you think is due the man of the match? I know man of the match is at times very, whatever it is, but Bonambi won it. It was great. A lot of talk about Cheslin Colby deserving it, and he would have equally been a deserving. But if you had to pick out potentially who it's due to be that hero on the day,
I think the hero on the day could be a guy like Damian Willemse, because he will have a lot of kicks, a lot of bombs directing at him tomorrow, and he needs to stay strong. He's going to be a last rock tomorrow, and he's going to be crucial in making sure that we field those up and unders from England.
Breyton Paulse, thank you so much, sir. I hope post the World Cup, you and I will sit down, have a lengthy chat.
And have a glass in the box.
You know the story. A glass of Boks sparkling water is always welcome.
Thank you, Rob.
Enjoy the semis, man.
Thanks for having
you.
me.
Thanks so much.